HTML attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. All HTML elements can have attributes. Attributes provide additional information about elements. Elements are always specified. Elements attributes are always specified in the start tag. Attributes usually come in name value pairs like name is equal to value in quotes. The A tag defines a hyperlink. The href attribute specifies the URL of the page the link goes to. When you say hyperlink, what do you understand by that? Hyperlink simply means something that links to another resource. So, now this is an example of the anchor tag that has the href attributes, and also a value is assigned to that attribute. The value assigned in this case is https column double forward slash bodo.ng slash ICT. So the href should contain the link to the particular resource that you want to link to. Okay, so you will learn more about links in our links lecture. You will learn more about links in our HTML links lecture next week. The image tag is used to embed an image in an HTML page. The src attribute specifies the path to the image to be displayed. There are two ways to specify the URL in the src attribute. The first is using absolute URL, that is, links to an external image that is hosted on another website. For example, src is equals to bodo.ng slash ict slash images slash image underscore girl.jpg. External images might be under copyright. If you do not get permission to use it, you may be in violation of copyright laws. In addition, you cannot control external images. It can suddenly be removed or changed. Relative URL. This links to an image that is hosted within your website. Here, the URL does not include the domain name. If the URL begins without a slash, it will be relative to the current page. Example, src is equals to image underscore girl.jpg. If the URL begins with a slash, it will be relative to the domain. It is almost always best to use relative URLs because they will not break if you change domain. In the first way to specify the URL in the src attributes, this includes the domain name. I hope you can notice that the domain name is bodo.ng and then there's a forward slash. Can you see? But in the second way, you simply just add the name of your image, right? Or you can also just exclude the domain name and you just start with a forward slash. You type the location, or maybe this is a folder. For instance, this should be a folder. In this case, this is it. This is an images folder in which you added this particular image. The required out attribute for the tag specifies an alternate text for an image. If the image for some reason cannot be displayed, this can be due to slow internet connection or an error in the source attributes, or if the user uses a screen reader. So, in this example, the value of the alt attribute is girl with a jacket. Basically, what you want to give your value, what you want to assign to your alt attribute is um, a value that describes what your image is talking about. So, reading this girl with a jacket, it will tell you that you should expect to see a girl. Maybe she's wearing a jacket or she's holding a jacket. You will learn more about images in our HTML images lecture next week. The width and height attributes. The tag should also contain the width and height attributes, which specifies the width and height of the image in pixels. So, in this image tag, there's an attribute called width, and the value is set to 500, that is 500 pixels. Also, you can see that there's an attribute called width, height, and the value is set to 600, that's 600 pixels. The next attribute to be looking at is the style attribute. The style attribute is used to add styles to an element such as color, font, size, and more. Okay, so in this example, we added the style attributes and then after the, let me say, inside the quotes, the opening quotes, we gave a property of color and set its value to red. So when this element is rendered, the color of that particular paragraph is going to be in red. You will learn more about styles next week. The lang attribute. You should always include the lang attribute inside the HTML tag to declare the language of the web page. This is meant to assist search engines and browsers. The following example specifies English as the language. You see the lang attributes and the value is set to EN. Country codes can also be added to the language code in the lang attributes. So, the first two characters define the language of the HTML page, and the last two characters define the country. The following example specifies English as the language and the United States as the country. Lang. Lang equals to EN dash US. The title attributes. The title attribute defines some extra information about an element. The value of the title attribute will be displayed as a tooltip when you mouse over like this. When you mouse over the elements. So, inside the paragraph tag, the title attribute is added in this example, and the title says, I am a tooltip. Always use lowercase attributes. The HTML standard does not require lowercase attributes name. The title attributes and other attributes can be written with uppercase or lowercase. However, at Bodo ICT Center, we recommend lowercase attributes in HTML. The HTML standard does not require quotes around attribute values. However, at Bodo ICT Center, we recommend quotes around attribute values in HTML.